Hi, welcome to NullSpace.
Shut your fucking mouth. I get to start it. You wait for me.
Fine, I'll take my friends and leave.
I'm the boss. I'll tell you when it's the end. I'm the leader.
Hi, and welcome to NullSpace. I'm the gaming god, Scott Null. With me, as always, is the prettiest princess, Jerry Kutka.
How you doing?
And we've got a couple of guests tonight. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves one by one? And how about with the question, what's the first game you remember beating?
All right, I'm John Kutka. I'm Jerry's younger brother, and I believe the first game that I remember beating was actually Pokemon Blue version on my Game Boy.
Nice.
Good time.
I'm Travis. I'm Jerry's butt buddy from a long time ago. And Quake was probably my first game I beat.
Quake.
I'm Gary, and first one I actually remember beating is Mega Man Legends, I believe.
Sweet. Well, tonight we're going to be doing a roundtable discussion of our most favorite, our least favorite, the companies that hurt us, the companies we love. We're talking about game publishing companies tonight. Who wants to go first?
I hate them all.
That's
Nintendo
a popular stance.
I guess, yeah, we were talking earlier today about Nintendo. I kind of missed some of the conversations you guys were in the car.
So I guess Nintendo will be our first company tonight. Nintendo is my absolute favorite. I love Nintendo. I bleed Nintendo. I was raised on Nintendo, and fuck you all.
Yeah, because you get your Majora's Mask figurine.
Hey, I was raised on Nintendo too. I had a NES and a Super Nintendo.
I am a Nintendo fanboy. I have a Nintendo 64 barcode logo thing on the back of my
You gotta
head.
bring that up every episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when you tattoo it on your body, you're kind of proud of it.
yeah,
suppose.
and John too. John, because he knows how much I love Nintendo, and of course,
There's an awkward amount of Triforces in my house. It
Very
doesn't
much.
even make sense. There's Rosalina on almost every wall. Fuck it. There's everything there.
Kelsey won't let me make a water temple bathroom.
what? Say it out loud. What the fuck you want to say?
I just made a Twilight Princess bathroom. It's a good time.
But anyways, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Who's got something to say?
I've been disappointed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of us have at some point with everything that they've been doing recently.
I've been disappointed in them for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you've been angry because you just love Metroid.
Yeah, and everyone else gets a 20th anniversary and a 25th anniversary collection, and Metroid gets nothing.
No, that's
Well,
They
got Prime
barely even
collection.
got a tweet or a Facebook message like, "Hey, it's Metroid's birthday today."
I think it's because they kept going out with the Metroids for Wii, and they kept
So they were.
flopping. And it wasn't because Metroid's a bad series, it's because they kept releasing games that were just
Mediocre.
lackluster.
Well, for example, Kirby. Kirby got a 25th anniversary, and they hadn't released, like, Epic Yarn hadn't even come out yet. And before that was, like, what, Kirby 64 or something like that?
Yeah.
No, they've got a fucking 25th anniversary collection with all the games together.
Before that, they had all the DS games, so they had like Canvas Curse and a couple of them like that.
Yeah.
But your point still stands.
Well,
They
we
weren't
started
main console.
we started strong with Prime, and then we eventually got to Other M, and
Well, Other M wasn't even released when the 25th anniversary came out.
I think that was supposed to be the 25th anniversary.
No, I read an interview a little while ago. Basically, they said that the market in America is not very over ecstatic of Metroid.
It's because we got Halo, and that's just a ripoff of Metroid.
Also, Metroid's hard.
That's true.
Metroid requires anything more than, literally point and shoot, you're done.
I do remember the Nintendo of Japan and their statement that gamers do not want difficult games. Do you remember that whole article that pissed off a lot of people?
Yeah, I do remember that. That's just a lot of bullshit. I mean, you personally bought Bloodborne the other day with a PS4 just so you could fucking play it.
That looks amazing.
It is amazing.
I'm so jealous.
Travis is rubbing his nipples right now.
I've already put like 18 hours. I bought it like 2 days before I left to come here and put like 18 hours into it. And I worked as well.
I personally started to get disappointed in Nintendo with the Majora's Mask remake release. I was real excited for that at first, and Nintendo, I would have given you all of my money. You fucked up real bad. I was ready to buy the new DS, the game, any merchandise you put out. I don't care. I would have bought 8 t-shirts. I wanted the collector's edition with the little figurine. And, like, it was just gone. It was gone. I couldn't find it anywhere. I asked people, and then you had some kind of like thing with GameStop, where you can get the collector's edition with the book, and it's like $80 more. And no, I'm not gonna.
Oh, the worst one is the one they just came out with the Majora's Mask 3DS, but it also came. You had to buy it with Project Steam,
Yeah.
Link Between Worlds, and there was one other game. No, it was Ocarina of Time. It was like
Yeah, it was, you had to buy them all as a
You
combo.
have to
it
buy
was
all
like
of the bundle, yeah.
$325, I believe, for the entire bundle.
It was close to
I'm not sure if that's...
As well with you had to buy it with Majora's Mask and the strategy guide, and it was this huge new 3DS bundle. And of course, with what didn't come with any of that was a fucking charger. So anybody who had the 3DS would have already had these games. I mean, it was something to try and stop scalpers, but really it was just kind of a pain in the ass for anybody who
I don't think
actually
it was more
wanted it.
Nintendo's fault. I think it was more GameStop's
Yeah, I was
middle
gonna
finger.
say,
That's
I feel like
GameStop.
that's
There's it's
Yeah,
GameStop.
but here's the thing, that fucking sold out within less than an hour.
Oh, it was like 20 minutes. It sold out.
Well, they also only sent, in their second wave, they decided to send 4.
Yep, 4.
Just 4.
4 per
To
store.
every store.
God,
And they're like, all right, that's all we got.
Mask.
So, but is this Nintendo or is this just Nintendo of America?
I think that might be just
Is
Nintendo.
Reggie's trying to screw us over, or is this actually the head?
That's Nintendo shipping them out. I mean,
We were dealing with that embargo that was
whatever.
being an issue.
Yeah, I was actually about to bring that up. I remember hearing about something with that where, like, that's why people are complaining about Amiibo even, and that's getting even affected there.
Right
So
now,
they can't get them.
Nintendo has been scalper bait for quite a while now, especially with the Amiibos. I mean, I have my little collection right there, and I got Pit was my big heyday of, hey, I got it, but I still never got the one you've got.
I've got only one Amiibo, and it was the only fucking one I wanted, was the Villager, and of course Gary got it me for Christmas, but he had to fucking give me butthurt every morning about it. He's like, hey, you got the Villager? I'm like, no, I don't have the fucking Villager. What happens if you got the Villager? You're gonna be really happy about it? No, I'm gonna be fucking... Like, I was so fucking angry, and then one day it just shipped to my house. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, it's your birthday present. That's my Christmas present. I'm like, open it up, it is the Japanese Villager, and I'm like, this is so much fucking
Is it
better.
region locked? Have you tried it?
It's not region locked.
They wouldn't be able to region. Well, they could.
No, but I love the packaging in itself because it's Japanese. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so fucking more colorful than the American packaging. I thought it was just cooler.
Well, that and the bullshit that it's.
Well,
done.
they have it to where if you can't get them, they're going to release.
Oh, the cards.
Yeah,
That's
the
exactly what I was
cards
gonna
was
say.
I
the killer
started seeing some of
concept
that
to me.
shit too. I'm like, I don't want the fucking cards. I want the actual toys. I want toys. I want Animal Crossing toys. God damn it.
They
Half
announced
the
this
reason people
yesterday, the
liked
cards.
them is because the figures.
the funny part about that was, I gave you some crap about it, but oh, he's genuinely going to be happy about this. And then I went in, like, the weekend before it got there or something, knowing it was going to show up, like, right after I left. Mm-hmm. And I came in, and, I was like, so, what if a villager just kind of showed up? And you're like, I wouldn't want to.
I'm so pissed off. I don't want the fucking thing now.
I'm just like, might be good I'm leaving.
I did fucking scream your name out. Like, fuck you, Jerry. This is amazing.
The one thing I don't understand they would do is like what board game companies do is that if they don't think they're going to get enough volume for something, they don't produce it until they get X amount of pre-orders for it.
Yeah.
And then make that collection and then send it out. So why don't they have it on their website? Like, if you want a villager, you need to get 1,000 other people to order a villager too, and we will make another set of them and send them out.
That is my argument for literally everything I'm pissed at Nintendo for. It wasn't just like, hey, we shipped, 50 Majora's Mask out and they sold right away. No, they were for pre-order. I don't understand how maybe this is just me not getting something. How does a pre-order run out of sales? Is that not what you use to figure out how many you need to make?
And no, I actually went down to GameStop that very same day, and I called them like, hey, do you guys got any pre-orders? Everyone's like, no, we are out of pre-orders. And I'm like, looking at them, like, you are out of pre-orders. It's like, yeah, we were only giving a disclosed amount to actually sell to people, and once those disclosed amount is gone, we cannot touch the computers anymore with that amount. Like, holy shit, that's fucked up.
Or even just add an extra cost to it. Like, you have the pre-order stuff, have the stuff you made, then you can order it from Nintendo directly, but you need to pay an extra $30 for them to take it off the assembly line and put the new paint on it and send it out.
It's a shell. It's a
Yeah,
plastic
I know.
shell.
Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just like fucking add that Send it out. You're paying the extra for them to physically do it, and more people would be happy to buy it.
Yeah, I would.
Like,
I wouldn't pay an extra 30.
I wouldn't either. That stuff's already expensive enough to me. I'm already jealous of you for having a Mega Man.
I am too.
Mega Mans are everywhere.
I have not seen
Bullshit! The GameStop at Mayfair had like 3 of them, and I was just sitting there looking at them like,
We need to go.
these are really just here? It's just like Toon Link I've been seeing everywhere, and I thought that was supposed to be a hard one to get.
No, the ones I've been looking for I can't find. Captain Falcons. Ice I can't find anywhere. But I mean, I got Villager day 1. Didn't have a problem finding him.
I asked them about that
essentially
fucking
a
day
big
one, and they had gone. But
See, the thing that Nintendo has been pissing me off about, the only complaint I have right now, because I've gotten everything I wanted out of Nintendo,
we haven't.
has been Nintendo of America versus Nintendo, even Nintendo UK.
Okay,
I mean,
that's a huge point.
especially with, first of all, the free stuff they get, the Club Nintendo stuff they get, and what pissed me off the most was that special edition 3DS Ambassador system they got.
The Ambassador program.
I'd sell my Majora's Mask one for that, because I want that one.
And it says switch your faceplates and everything.
It says Nintendo in Japanese. I'm going to track down Miyamoto and have him sign it. That's the one I want, but never even offered here in the States. And with Region Lock, even if I got it here,
It wouldn't do anything. It's not going to help you unless you're going to go out and buy every single one and get it shipped here.
The one thing I'm a little upset about was probably the Club Nintendo. I love Club Nintendo. I thought it was really cool because I can buy all these games and register them and accumulate coins and points or whatever, and then I can get these exclusive items from the website. I'm like, yeah, I can only grab these. No one else can buy these. They're not. Nobody else can get these. These are exclusive for like really hardcore fans. And I was able to get like a messenger bag, which I use all the time, and all these cool things, posters. And now they're like, for a while in America, they're like, they didn't update their store. Like, we only got maybe like 2 things. You got postcards? You want postcards? You want fucking Nintendo Dark postcards?
Yeah, it's either postcards or, God, for like a little while they had a t-shirt and it was like, cool, and it was gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Like, it was like, everybody was starving for it, so they like just disappear right away. And then I'm like reading all these on My Nintendo News, like all the cool things on the UK store. I'm like, holy crap, you got this, you got Pikmin, you got all these cool things. I want fucking that. Why can't I fucking get that?
the only thing I ever saw at a Club Nintendo that I wanted more than anything was the Mario Kart statues they had. The
oh my god, those trophies! I fucking wanted those.
We could have had a tournament in the store and given one of those away. Do you know how many people would have shown up?
And now Club Nintendo's shutting down in America. I don't know if it's shutting down in the UK.
I believe they were pulling them all. What they said they're going to be doing is more customer appreciation things like they have been with the demos.
Okay.
Like if you had enough games that you purchased and registered, you got those free demos for like Smash Brothers, which actually I don't mind. I think that's a cool idea.
No, it's fine.
It's if they actually stick with it, though. Because, I mean, with how Nintendo America's been rolling, they are going to be like, yeah, we're going to definitely help you out still and keep up with this, and then they're going to just...
I personally do not want demos. I don't care.
Or just preload, or have, the virtual console games that are coming out. If you are this and you get a certain amount of points, you get those 2 weeks ahead before everyone else.
I don't want virtual console either. That's what they're doing now. It pisses
Well,
me
but
off.
I'm saying, but it rewards you for doing it. You're getting stuff before anyone else does. They can still make money off of it later.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still a better option than just fuck postcards.
I'd like downloads. I'd like downloads like they were doing for the Platinum Reward. I want $30 games that I can download by purchasing enough games. I think that's paying me back for what I'm putting in. I think that would be excellent.
No, that was pretty cool. Like, I guess my problem is, though, like, for the end of the year, they had the platinum and gold, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's really awesome. And now they're all just downloads again. And, like, I'm looking at the list, and I have most of these games.
Is you bought all of those games to get platinum level, and your reward is the same game again.
And it's really cool for, like, my brother or anybody else who doesn't have all those things. It's like, because John was like, oh, they got Donkey Kong, or, like, mine.
Yeah, because I was looking at getting some of those. But at the same time, because I'm still short of platinum, if I want to get to platinum, I'm going to need to buy those games.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I have all these games already. I'm like, well, fuck, God, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, I'm probably going to rebuy Animal Crossing again just so it's on my system at all times, but that's pretty much what I'm going to do, so...
I was actually about 1 game away from Platinum, and
Ouch.
then it was like, you can't redeem anything for coins anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We've talked about Nintendo. Anybody have any final complaints before we move on to our next company?
Nintendo...
Fuck Nintendo.
Fucking Nintendo.
Nintendo's a love and hate thing for me. Like, I bitched for God knows how long about Fatal Frame, and then they finally said, hey, we're going to release Fatal Frame in the US. I'm like, Jesus Christ, finally.
Same thing with Earthbound.
Yeah, Earthbound. Everybody complained about that.
And now they've got the vote for your Smash Brother character.
It feels like I'm pulling
want
teeth
DJ
with
Jake.
Nintendo because I love them so much, and I'm like, Nintendo, can I have this? Nintendo, hey, can I have this? Hey, just give it to me, please.
I've got my Nintendo stock. I love Nintendo. No matter what they do, I will always love them. It's an
Since you
abusive
brought up Earthbound, like Mother 3, everyone's been wanting it, even on a virtual console. Someone else already fan translated it. He has said to Nintendo, I will give you my fans translate for free. All you literally have to do is put it in and put it on a digital storefront. It costs you maybe, $20 to do that?
Yeah.
Or pay some guy to type in a couple numbers and there you go. But now they're like, no, you guys don't like Earthbound.
Which, actually, this is a great segue into one we didn't discuss about talking, but a company that Nintendo refuses to work with, Rare.
Rare.
Oh.
I think that's a good one to talk about.
Are they still around?
I
Yeah,
thought
Microsoft owns
Yeah, I was going to
100%
say,
of the
I
company
thought Rare was basically owned by Microsoft now, and that's why they don't work with each other anymore. Because
There's a huge story behind that, but long story short, yeah, Microsoft owns 100% of Rare company now, and everybody who originally worked with Rare all left. So they have all new people, and they just have the name now. And they tried to reimagine the games like Killer Instinct, but it's all DLC, buy all fucking characters. We're doing the Capcom round.
Buy a cactus? I'll buy the game if I can buy a cactus.
They're talking about what, the next Banjo-Kazooie, or are they talking about a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie?
Okay, the original developers left.
Yeah.
And they're starting their own company again. And they're doing a spiritual successor to that, and they said they might have some ideas to tweak with maybe the Rare company just to kind of merge with that name again to be more successful. But, look at Perfect Dark.
We'll have to do them when they're finally dead, an in memoriam episode to Rare, because look at what we lost. We lost Donkey Kong 64. We lost Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Killer Instinct.
Diddy Kong Racing. And actually, Donkey Kong Racing was in development for quite some time, and that was pulled.
All of these series are dead in the ground. I don't care if they keep remaking them or keep re-releasing them. They're dead, and it's so unfortunate.
And I mean, technically, if you're going to go off of that, the original Rare team that did GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, they went to do Free Radical. So you had Time Splitters, which ran well, then ran even better, and then just died.
I don't know what, and the people are still actually going for it. They want remakes of those, and they're like, and then Cry.
They were partly through 4.
Yeah, 4 was actually
4 was
started.
in development,
So
and
4
it
wasn't
was just...
started. And then they lost
died.
funding, and then they were bought up by people did Crysis. What is their name?
No,
Crytek. Yeah,
Is it Crytek?
Crytek
Yeah.
bought them, and
Such a
they're
original
having
name.
And they were thinking about, well, if people seem more interested in Time Splitters, we'll probably do that too. And I'm like, we are fucking interested. Oh my god, please! And then they're like, well, we're having financial issues too. I'm like, shit.
Of course you are. You don't want to put out the games that people want to buy.
See, now all I want to talk about is LucasArts, but they're already dead. We'll talk about them later. All right, who wants to go next?
Are we talking about Capcom?
We can talk about Capcom.
You know what? Go right ahead about
Fucking going for it, Gary.
Fuck you, Capcom.
Gary's been wanting to so bad to talk about this.
For 10 years, I waited for Mega Man Legends 3, you cocksuckers. Give me my game. Also, Inafune, this was your chance. No, I'll point at the microphone.
Pointing at the fucking microphone.
This is your chance to make something good. You were out, and you're like, you know what would be great? If I just made one Mega Man. Just make Mega Man anyway. Just go something. Fuck you. Make a good game. I love Mega Man so much. I have beaten literally every Mega Man except for Battle Network and Star Force because they don't exist. They're not real. They're practical jokes to make me feel bad and cry at night. No. Mega Man Legends is by far my first game I've ever beaten, and I loved it. I used to pretend, after I beat them like 8 times, just I was playing Mega Man Legends in my little room. My dad gave me like this little can. I put it on my arm. I had a buster gun. I was set. And you took that away from me.
You had a Pringles can, didn't you?
No. Well, he worked for banks, and you know those like things you put the money in?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my arm doesn't fit in that anymore.
I wonder why.
Gotta buy the replica you can buy on ThinkGeek.
Also,
Yeah, for like
that doesn't even...
$200.
The bar is on the wrong side. You can't even get your own fucking merchandise right.
Okay, we're done talking about Mega Man then. How about we
Anyway.
move on to Resident Evil?
Yeah,
Oh,
Resident
God.
Evil X. I'm still trying to finish Resident Evil 6, to tell you the truth.
I beat it. I didn't like it.
Me and Gary were playing it for a while, and we actually enjoyed it.
I did.
I had to.
And it pains me, because fuck you, Capcom.
Like,
that was just a button masher of QuickTime events.
Still,
I like it.
There was...
I'm sorry.
It was a nice co-op game. It was... yes, it's not Resident Evil. I will say, like, flat out, it's not Resident Evil. They use the Resident Evil name and characters and stuff.
Resident Evil interactive movie.
But if you just forego the fact that it was Resident Evil and just played it as a game, it was a pretty okay co-op game. I mean,
I think
my problem is I hold it to the standard of the series.
that's
probably
probably why I like it, because I have not played any of the Resident Evils. I just jumped into 6.
Because 2 was goddamn amazing.
Well, yeah.
I love 2.
4 was a winner.
Well, 1 director's cut on GameCube I loved.
I personally didn't.
Not the director's cut, but
original.
Director's Cut on the PS1.
Yeah.
The first Resident Evil I ever played was 2. I didn't end up going back to 1. I played 2. I played through 4. I played 5. I played 6.
Did you not even do the remake?
Remake I have on GameCube. Remember the Resident Evil game I have on GameCube?
No.
Okay.
You never even did remake.
Remake was pretty good.
Remake was good.
It kept,
I've heard good
it
things
kept
about it.
real close to the original with the terrible controls and the jogs that jump through the window and make me piss my pants.
The new remake that they released on PC fixes a lot of the
That they were saying,
controls.
and I can't wait to get it on my PC.
It actually runs really well. It's amazing.
That's what they were saying. I can't wait.
I saw it was on the downloaded PS4.
That's the thing is Capcom seems to not understand their demographic when they're trying so hard to, because they keep changing their games to match the demographic that's not changing. They're talking about how everyone who played the first Resident Evil is in their 40s now, and that's clearly not true. And they're changing to meet the younger crowds with these action games.
Well, the problem is that they did 1, 2, 3 in Code Veronica, and those were all fairly fun games, and they got into smart. But by the time Code Veronica hit, it kind of started gone downhill, and then they made Resident Evil 4. Which just exploded, and they thought, well, this is what people want. They just want more action, and then they just threw more action into it.
And I think that shows perfectly in 5 with the introduction of co-op, which
I love co-op
is
on
excellent.
side. It's great.
Is excellent in a game. Terrible in a survival horror. There's no suspense.
Yeah, when I moved back home, Travis wanted to keep in touch with me. He bought me all the DLC in Resident Evil 5 so we can play online for a whole week. That was great. But how do you feel about when Capcom started failing really hard? It's like, we're gonna completely go stick with the DLC route, and they're like a lot of the Street Fighter kind of.
I never cared about Street Fighter.
But that's what they're going for now. They're like, this is what people obviously want. They want DLC. Do you want DLC?
Well,
I don't have a problem with
DLC.
DLC, actually.
It depends on what it is and how well it's done.
As long as it's not as bad as Rare with that whole entire game that's free until you
have to pay for characters with the
Killer Instinct. You have to pay for each character. You can play the same one over and over again. But
fuck you, goddammit.
Really?
Well, my complaint, I would say, for like some of that stuff is like, it's not partially their fault. It's when Marvel vs. Capcom 3, apparently, like when they lost the Marvel license, you can't download that game anymore.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's just like, it's gone. All the DLC is gone because they were all Marvel characters, and then Marvel got bought by Disney, and Disney's pretty much like reining in as much stuff as they can possible to control it all.
Disney's trying to catch them all.
I'm not saying DLC is bad in any sort of way, because there are games out there that I love so much. Like, wow, I want more of this. I'm like, I will pay more for this. And I was just thinking, well, it's just Street Fighter. I'm seeing that they're just kind of focusing on. I'm like,
it's because there's been a big resurgence of fighting games. Like Evo is huge now. It used to be like 5 people showed up in a basement and they had a tournament. Now it's like League of Legends almost, where it's this big, huge events. It's streamed everywhere.
Girls flashing their titties and everything.
Yeah, and they realize there's a lot of money there.
Money's and titties.
And I can understand that. Like, for me, it didn't, like, I'm not as mad at Capcom as Gary is.
You should be.
Because they've done enough good for me to where I'm happy. Like, they could die by the wayside and I'd be like, Capcom's...
Is that how you feel about things you love?
That's how I
They could die and it'd be okay with me.
Now he's saying he'd be sad if they die.
I'd be sad, but I mean, I'd be satisfied with their game library as it is like right now, like if Capcom were to go out of business and dead, if they manage to have all the games still out there, they have enough winners that it's kind of hard for me to stay mad at them.
I know. I guess I'm not as big as Mega fan, but no, I'm not a big Mega Man fan as Gary is. But I do enjoy their games, and they're challenging. They piss me off, but I still enjoy the punishment. Mm-hmm. And when Mega Man Legends 3 was gone, that I was kind of pissed off about that because it was almost fucking done. And like, well, people don't want that. You guys don't like. Then they made that announcement that people don't want Mega Man Legends 3. Gary literally flipped his nipples off and threw him into a fire and then raged out into outer space.
I broke a lot of things.
And I can understand where Gary's coming from, but for me, I guess the things that I liked about Capcom never really got fucked with too much. I mean, the worst thing they did is kind of fucked up Resident Evil.
This is my fucking problem with you, Travis.
And
it's
a little bit
I don't have a problem with anything. I have everything that I love is not fucked with. So
well, I'm just saying, that's why I'm not as mad about Street Fighter. I could care less about. Mega Man, I never really grew up with Mega Man. I never really played it. Don't really care about it as much. The big one was Resident Evil, Devil May Cry.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
I can respect that, but they ruined both of those theoretically.
Recently.
Oh man, with that.
But the thing is they're
remake.
making it up possibly with the new release of 4 with all the new content and stuff with it.
Or they could release a new game for once in the next.
Well, the thing is that they're thinking. A lot of people are thinking is because they did a special edition of the DMC, which is the remake, and now they're doing this re-release of Devil May Cry 4 for a bunch of stuff, and I think they're looking for what sells more, and they're gonna start putting money towards that, and hopefully people will buy with 4 and. They'll go back to good things.
No, I hope you're right.
Well,
I just hate you. That's all.
Before I move on to the next company, anybody have anything else
to say about Capcom? John's already on his phone.
No, I'm actually looking at game lists for Capcom to see if there's other ones that we just straight up missed. And actually, we all completely skipped over Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah,
I just mentioned.
Yeah, you mentioned him.
Oh,
you were on your phone.
Yeah.
I was reading.
Last 5 minutes was talking about Devil May Cry.
How the new
Speaking of games, and speaking of companies screwing with games that we love, I'm going to bring up Sega. Because here's my rant. Okay, so there's 2 decent Sonic the Hedgehog characters, Sonic and Tails, and everything that was introduced after Tails.
I thought you were going to say Amy.
Everything introduced after Tails
but what about Big?
Has been complete garbage.
That's the kid.
Sonic 2, you know what? The first Sonic the Hedgehog was garbage. If you look back and play it, it's a bad game. Because level 1 is perfect. Marble Zone is terrible. They take a game where it's supposed to be entirely about speed, and they're like, okay, now we're going to make you sit here and wait for floating lava and falling blocks, and they just ripped all of the speed out of the game.
Gotta go fast and wait.
And then Sonic 2 comes out, and it's the perfect game. Sonic 2 is perfect. And Tails was my favorite character as a kid. And then Sonic 3 came out and it had Knuckles, and I don't really have a problem with Knuckles. And then Sonic started having more friends, and
chili dogs.
More friends. Nothing wrong with Sonic and chili dogs. Sonic cartoon characters were great. But the Sonic games, I read the comics.
Which cartoon?
Are we talking
I'm talking about the original Disney one, where it was the cartoony, goofy ass shit the entire time.
Where they actually made fun of Tails' name.
And the cartoon action one with like Boomer and Sally Acorn and Antoine. These were all great. But then they introduced like Amy the Hedgehog, and then Emo the Hedgehog.
Amy was
Shadow.
No, that is
Amy
Rouge. Thank you.
Rouge, Jerry's favorite.
But then boobies.
the Vegeta the Hedgehog with his guns and his rocket boots, and then they have Silver the Hedgehog, and they had.
Didn't they have a cartoon with like Sonic's kids or something?
They
like
did. That was like what was that one? Where the Sonic had like the pink and the green, but they were his siblings.
They were siblings or something like that. They're like.
Sonic's only ever had one relative, and that's his uncle that got turned into a robot by Robotnik. Don't care about anything else.
Had that comic. That was the comic I was talking
We
about.
were just actually talking about this morning. I was bitching because...
Gary's bitching? What?
Yeah, no, it's unheard of. But I was mad because they seemed to followed that, like... And don't get me wrong, cartoon was fine, but they followed, like, the Goofy cartoon. And I really wanted them to go after the dark one.
Here's the thing. They didn't, though. I've actually read up on Sonic lore, quote, and... The universe literally ended, like, in a couple of situations in which the universe, it's all linear and it keeps ending and then rewriting, and that there's multiple Eggman Robotniks, and at one point, the Sonic Mega Man crossover is legitimate in the story. In the fact in that story completely rips everything apart. So, it's all been one really long nightmare for Sonic the Hedgehog, who I'm assuming is trapped in that tall, gangly freak hedgehog we have now.
With the blue arms.
The hedgehog who loved chili dogs and was Steve Urkel and was what corporations thought the 90s kids were like, is trapped somewhere inside, Goku the Hedgehog.
Is that why he makes out with anime characters now?
Yeah, he makes out with princesses and...
Oh my god, that was so awkward to watch.
But back to the actual Sega here.
Well, really... I think Sega was just like, we need to meet every single demographic goal. That's why we have Amy and a crocodile for the chipmunk people.
I really hope that they...
And big mechanics.
They clearly... Sega's fallen on hard times. They don't know where to go. Sonic does not grow. The Sonic series cannot go past Sonic 2, Sonic 3. That's where the series need to end. I mean, you can have Sonic tie-ins, but you can't bring a game like Sonic the Hedgehog into the current generation.
Well, they sort of could, but the problem is that I don't think they have the design people enough to actually think about this. Like, for example, they were doing the DLC episode ones.
Yeah.
Where it was like the 2D...
Yeah, Sonic
stuff.
4 episode 1 and 2.
Except the problem was that it was a problem way back in the day. They put Sonic right in the middle of the screen.
That is true. That is true.
When you should have just been off to the left so you can see the stuff coming and still go super fast. You're just wasting this back half of the screen, and I don't understand why no one's figured this out.
They kind of did figure it out a little bit when I personally think the last good Sonic game to come out was Sonic Colors. Because they fell right back into that side scroller.
The problem is,
here you go.
Is that Sega, for whatever reason, with Team Sonic, has tried to ride every single trend in gaming. I mean, you had God of War selling really well. So what does Sonic do? They make a hack and slash Sonic the Hedgehog where he turns into a werehog, which is basically
70% of the damn game.
The thing is, werehog is wrong. I mean, were is translated to man, animals? So he should be more manly than wolf. It should have been wolf hog or something stupid like that.
Trying to hedge turning into another animal.
And then, of course, we're gonna even skip about the game that shall not be talked about today.
Sonic 06?
Shut up. But there are other IPs.
Sonic Boom, because I heard people
Boom sucks.
Boom came out and people were like, Sonic 06 was actually pretty good.
I believe they're going in the right direction with Boom. I believe that if they're gonna keep this series alive, they need to first of all reinvent the characters, which they're doing, because the Sonic Boom cartoon is doing really well.
Okay, that's what I hear.
The game is terrible, but I hear kids are really attaching to the movie, the cartoon.
Stop laughing, you dumbass. What do you want to talk about here?
What are you giggling?
It's really...
Well, we'll skip that.
I know what you're at. Okay. No, back to the Sonic Boom. I've watched the whole entire gameplay of Sonic Boom, and I still think Sonic 06 still takes
Sonic 06 was broken. Sonic Boom was at least an entire...
But it still fell under the same horribleness of, Sega's hey, we need to rush this right fucking now. And then, of course, the separate studio's like, well, it's not done. And nope, it's done.
But their other IPs are doing pretty well. Bayonetta,
but that's still Platinum Games.
That's Platinum, that's not Sega. And
they're a publisher.
Sega doesn't really own it anymore. Nintendo kind of does.
That's right, didn't they? Yeah. But the same thing with Sonic. They were looking to sell the Sonic.
I guess I could say one thing about Nintendo. Thank you for saving Bayonetta, so...
If I can say one thing about Sonic, if they're going to continue to do 3D games, just continue to remake the first level of Adventure 2. It's all you need to do.
Or just Sonic Adventures 1. It was a good game. And then
Sonic
2 came out, and it started off, the first level was exactly the same as the whole game. And then you're like, alright, this is going to be solid. And then the second level happened. and every level after that, and you're just like, oh no. Oh, no.
You know what kind of Meech is like that? It was
Why
kind of
show?
like in between with Sonic Generations. I mean, it was like a remix of like all the cool stuff you like.
Wincing right now.
It was you didn't even play. It's like it was too fast. You sound like a fucking old man.
Okay,
There's Sonic. Gotta go fast.
the
Chili Joes.
First of all, they remade the wrong. The Sonic Generations had Sonic 06 referenced in there for God knows what reason.
I don't know. Fucking
and then they remade the wrong level from 2. They made what, Oil Zone? Chemical Zone. They needed to remake Casino Night. That was the best level in
I
any
remember
Sonic
Casino
game.
Night. That's
Believe it or
the
not.
one that everybody loved.
On the PC version, this is where it fucked over a lot of people, and I totally agree with you. I bought the PC version separately too when it was on a Steam sale for a couple of bucks because they had the Casino Night actual pinball table that you could unlock and play the fucking pinball. It was cool. They had it for consoles, but it was for pre-order only at GameStop and for a limited time. That was bullshit because I was like, I would fucking buy that. That is so awesome. But
That would have been great. It has
But
to
yeah,
play the
that's what
music.
it's really cool. Check it out on Steam. It's really cool.
One thing I
I'm
would
not plugging anything.
say that it kind of ties into Sega, but just Japanese game publishers in general keep on doing where they make a game series that's loved. They release one bad game, and all of a sudden, fuck, we can't release it outside of Japan ever again.
Yeah.
Like, Sega did it with Valkyrie Chronicles, is that the first one was really good. The second one was mediocre, but didn't really sell that well. And then apparently the third one is absolutely amazing, but it has not seen the light of day in North America.
It's because there's no longer a following for it here.
Because the people who can read Japanese and they import it in and they play it, they're like, "What? Sega, what are you doing? People will buy this. Like, do you want money?" And apparently, this is the same with a lot of Japanese companies, is that they will release like a series and everyone's like, yeah, this is great. And they'll release the one bad one that doesn't quite sell because it's not that great. And they're like, well, I guess America's dead now.
Actually, I kind of wish more would do that so we stop getting Silent Hills that are crap.
They didn't make any more after 2. I don't know what you mean. They're not real.
The third one
They're overhyping Silent Hills right now.
Well, they can't now.
They can't.
Because since Konami is leaving, Kojima's leaving Konami in December. He's under contract now, but he owns the Fox Die engine. His company owns that and is leasing it to Konami. When he leaves, he takes that engine with him. If they haven't finished Silent Hills by the time he leaves in December, they can't use the engine anymore and will have to remake the entire game without him.
I'm not excited, but I'm not entirely heartbroken about that. I mean, the first Silent Hill I played, I was in elementary school. Was the scariest. First of all, it was the first horror thing I've ever seen. I never saw a horror movie, never played a horror game. That game literally gave me panic attacks. I was terrified of that game. Looking back at it now, fucking, it still scares the shit out of me. Boxes and all. The setting for that game was incredible. Konami really knew how to make ambiance. And going from there and watching, they stopped making the game and they started just publishing it, and other companies were making it.
They didn't start publishing other games until after 4. 2 was them, 3 was them, 4 was the last one by Team Silent Hill, then Homecoming was American, Origins was American, Downpour was American, the remake was American.
The only one I don't mind after 2 is the remake for the Wii. I actually thought that was really well done. Yeah.
Shattered Memories is an excellent game.
Mm-hmm.
2 is my favorite one. 3 was still really good. But they kind of lost a lot of the stuff with it.
If we're talking Konami, we have to talk about Kojima. When Kojima leaves, what does Konami have left?
I have no fucking
They still own Metal Gear.
They still own Metal Gear? Yeah, that's right. They said they were going to still, they're going to finish off Metal Gear 5 and still Metal Gear series.
Honestly, I think I've outgrown Metal Gear. As a gamer, I got 3 for my 3DS because I loved it. I got 3 for my 3DS and I couldn't play it because the controls, it just wasn't great. Then I got the HD collection on PS3, and it's the same game I loved growing up, and I'm playing it, I'm just like, wow, the pacing in this, don't remember it being this lag. It was just too hokey for me now. And
that's how I feel about 4. I still haven't finished it.
I loved. I played through 4. I loved the story, but I just after that point just couldn't continue.
Did you play any of Ground Zero?
We beat it in 15 minutes. Are you kidding?
Well, I know.
We got in the shop and we literally...
That's another thing.
15 minutes
I would not mind Konami start going under because releasing Ground Zero as a paid demo was disgusting.
I agree, but it's the thing that actually got me interested in 5. Like, I played 4, I was done, they announced 5, and like, I really don't care. I happened to go to like Target and they had a buy 2, get 1 free. I had 2 games I wanted, I couldn't figure out what the third one was, so I was like, screw it, Ground Zero, let's do it.
What they did
Played for 5 hours because I did all the stuff, and I'm like, I could go for more. This is good.
I will never justify buying that because all they did was they did Metal Gear Solid 2, the ship carrier level.
Oh yeah,
that was fucking free.
Zone of the Enders.
No, it's not. It wasn't free. You had to buy a $60 game.
No, I mean it was part of 2. I never had to buy anything. The ship level was part of 2. Never had to buy it. I don't care when it came out initially.
No, the demo... So, Zone of the Enders came out, and Zone of the Enders sold, which is the only reason I hate Konami right now is because I won Zone of the Enders 3.
I fucking want Zone of the Enders 3 so fucking bad. I'm with Gary. I feel like Gary right
now. Like, that's all I want. And Kojima's been... The entire time, he's like, I just want to make Zone of the Enders 3. After Metal Gear. But after Metal Gear. But... It was originally released as it, so if you wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 2 before anyone else, you had to go buy Zone of the Enders. It's $60 a pop to get it. It's the only reason we got Zone of the Enders 2 is because it sold well enough, and I'm using quotations to the people who can't see it.
So they were just bunnies.
Still, it was included. It wasn't a separate, pay your $30 now.
They never said that it's not going to include Ground Zeroes.
Well, I guarantee 5 when it comes out will include Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, so then
absolutely. Which is just such a joke that you had to pay for it to begin with.
Well, you didn't have to. You could either wait until it came out, or if you really wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. I can't justify paying for it because it's ridiculous.
Well, I said I bought it on the PC when it came out on a Steam sale.
True. All right. I still can't. I can't justify paying a penny for it.
I paid $60 because I originally was like I played Metal Gear 1 and like, all right. Demo for Metal Gear Solid 2 comes with Zone of the Enders. I have no idea what it is, but I am going to pay $60 so I can play Metal Gear Solid 2.
See, when my buddy got Zone of the Enders, I was actually more interested in Zone and then Metal Gear. Because I'm like, oh, this is fucking crazy. I had no fucking cares about Metal Gear. I'm on the opposite spectrum.
The same way. I've never cared about a Metal Gear game.
Yep. They're okay. I mean, they're fun. We talked about this a little bit last night. Like, you're like, did you play 1 through 3? I'm like, I did play 1 through 3. And I thought they were fine games. I'm not a crazy ape shit like you were.
4's a little...
4 I loved. I mean, 4 was just a nice, except for the very, 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 very end. 4 was a nice little bow on the entire series.
I'm still getting through the cutscenes. I have not done 3.
I thought that's how it was.
Yeah.
It's cutscenes the game. It is.
I actually had to take time off of work. I took 3 days off of work.
Jesus fuck.
Because I'm like, I'm going to sit down. I want no distractions. I am going to play Metal Gear Solid 4. And I don't want to be bothered at all. So I took a 3-day vacation and just plowed through it.
See, some women take baths with candles. Travis takes 3 days off work to play Metal Gear Solid.
It was sitting in my backlog and I needed to play it, and I'm like, the only way I can do this is if I know I have nothing else going on.
Well, we're going to move on because I want time to really bitch about the company I want to bitch about is Square Enix.
Square Enix! Or Squaresoft.
No, Squaresoft is dead. Squaresoft was amazing. Squaresoft was the best in JRPG. Square Enix, I mean, what the hell? You had 2 companies that were fantastic, and when they combine, they make shit?
Did you not really like Final Fantasy X2?
I scored a potion.
See, actually, here's my argument for Square Enix, though. They've made shit Final Fantasy games since they've combined. But their other smaller stuff has actually been fairly good.
Not when I'm looking at with the Soul Reaver series.
Well, I mean, it is Soul Reaver. I'm sad about that too.
Go back. Why are you sad? Are you actually fucking sad about something, Travis?
Yeah.
Fucking let me hear your butt hurt.
Because the series never got an actual ending.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
Defiance ended on a cliffhanger. And the game we got after that, finally we get a Soul Reaver game, a game part of the Legacy of Kain universe, was a multiplayer Nosgoth.
Sweet. That sounds exactly what I don't want to play.
And we had, just a little while ago, they showed the Soul Reaver 3 that never got announced. It had nothing to do with Kain or Raziel. It was entirely Nosgoth in the parallel universe in which it's still all decrepit, but the humans are fighting back. Which, to me, I just sat there after reading that article for about 30 minutes imagining what kind of lore would have been happening in that game, and we never got it. And it's bullshit.
But that series also died in 2004.
That's an old series. It is. I mean,
I've kind of...
It died after...
Actually, I don't even think it was 2004.
No, it was an older series. Defiance died. Defiance was a good game, but it was basically just Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
It was...
Devil May Cry.
And with other games like that, I mean, that Square Enix... the only reason Squaresoft was great was their JRPGs.
They did make an excellent Final Fantasy recently.
Bravely
Default.
Yeah, which they're now making a second one, which is...
No, they alluded to a sequel when it came out years ago, and I still haven't heard anything about the second one.
They've announced that they've had a Nintendo Direct and everything.
Oh yeah,
about it.
Bravely Default is coming.
Yeah, the studio's like,
called
you
Bravely
want
Second.
this?
Bravely Second. The thing is, Bravely Default was... there was nothing wrong with Bravely Default. I got it, I played it, but I had already gone through this story with Final Fantasy 1, so why am I playing it again when a JRPG is essentially you're playing for the story?
So it was on a 3DS, right?
Yes.
So that you're introducing new gamers to to a 3D platform system that's on a younger audience who doesn't have the,
Okay,
audience like Final Fantasy.
let's get the actual series right before we start alluding to it with another series.
That's the thing. That's why I double back.
Yeah.
Is Square Enix actually bad because they make bad games, or is it because they've just take a beloved series and kind of messed it up?
They butchered.
And everything else they do have been fairly good. Like Tomb Raider came out, that was actually fairly good. I'm excited for the second one.
Tomb Raider
They were just a publisher, though, just so you know.
Well, I know, but they own Crystal Dynamics, who's the
I
people.
also hate you. So.
Wasn't that essentially just Uncharted?
It's Uncharted. It's Uncharted plus boobs plus gore
Metroid.
porn.
Which is
Plus
all anyone
Metroid.
wanted. I want Uncharted boobies.
But
We all want Uncharted boobies.
But they've had Deus Ex, which is a Square Enix. Again, they were a publisher. It's
Gary's viewing Square a Deus Ex, but that was before they bought the rights, and they would do the Gary played the first Deus Ex.
Yeah, no, Travis. Oh my god, I love Deus Ex so much.
do.
I will play it for you, Travis. I will try, and God bless me, I tried. I never got past the first... I didn't get into the building. I just walk up and you have 3 bullets and 50 people.
Wait, are you talking about Deus Ex 1
Yes.
or
Sure.
the third one?
It was the first one.
First
this is
one.
before Square
I tried
Enix bought it,
so hard for you.
I still can't take any company seriously that takes its flagship and lets it sink like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, looking at, on my opinion, Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X was the last decent.
No.
Are we saying
9.
10 is decent, or
9.
are we saying everything before 10 is decent?
I'm saying I will go up to 10 and say 10 was decent.
No.
No.
Everyone, I know
9.
I can
9.
totally respect stopping at 9 because, first of all, I've never played 9 and I hear it's amazing.
It is. It's my favorite one.
And I stopped at 10 because 10 was the last one that actually the story was enough to catch my imagination. 12, you got to the point with 12 where it was just, there's so much, just so much crap going on. And it was browned the game, and that was at the point in 12 when they just started saying, it's a fantasy, let's start shoving fantasy in there and just cramming it in as much as they possibly could. Mm-hmm. And it was just unfortunate. And then 13, the long hallway, and then every spin-off of 13. And the writing has gotten so bad with 13 Lightning Returns of basically just, she's frozen for 1,000 years and she comes out and, well, everything's the same.
Yes, Gary, you're raising your hand.
I have no idea what 13's about, and I've put hours into it.
It's just them, basically, they took out the JRPG trope hat and they just started pulling things out of it and saying, okay, and here's the point where there's the goofy female character, but she's batshit insane, and it's just...
What about the fucking bullshit when they were releasing on the iOS store of the astronomical crazy prices of
the crazy? That's Square Enix pricing bracket. They think they shit gold, and they put it on the iOS. I mean, even in Steam, their Steam sales
they're not really
are at max 10%.
Yeah.
No, they're stuff that is not their JRPGs. It's a fairly good discount.
Well, who gives a shit?
Square Enix is JRPGs. It's like if I'm going to play Atlas and say, "Look, let's get an Atlas platformer." No one wants that. Atlas is all they do is they take JRPGs and they release them here in the States. You know.
Well, but as I said already, I mean, they're Tomb Raider. They have Dragon's Quest. That's still huge.
Yeah, true. Dragon's Quest is pretty big.
They can't release that game on a weekday. It's by basically Japanese law that they have to release it on a Friday because people won't show up to work.
Well, I've had a lot of bad experiences with Final Fantasy. Like I was talking to you about it, and like Jerry, some Final Fantasy games are good. I'm like, really? Yeah. I've played or just whatever.
No, that's fine.
No,
I play Tactics. And I played...
I told him, my fucking history about him. Like,
I played Chocobo Tales, and I played...
my history of Final Fantasy was awful. Like, I got Final Fantasy VIII, and then Fat Sean stole it from me and sold it, and
That's
fucker.
8. 8 was just emo of the game.
I know.
Love 8. Get out
But then I had no chance of fucking playing it. And then I got in... My ex-girlfriend at the time got Final Fantasy X2.
And pretty princess of the game.
And then I'm like, I'm really fucking psyched. I just got a PS3, and like, fuck, I'm gonna get Final Fantasy 13. And I bought it, and I fucking want to stab my face off.
Chocobo Tales.
And I'm like, I am fucking done with Final Fantasy.
And I got Final Fantasy, you're getting all the spin-offs. I got Theater Rhythm.
And I got Final Fantasy.
You watch what you say about Theater Rhythm.
What is it? I got a PSP. Really I got a PSP, and I got Final Fantasy 7 Core, whatever.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No,
that was my experience with Final Fantasy.
I got Dirge Cerberus, and I got...
Here's the thing, like, if, like, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan and I'm looking at these things throughout a window, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking try these Final Fantasy games. And each time I fucking go in and reach in the pocket, I'm like, I got fucking shit, man.
What was the Final Fantasy game what they just released for the mobile devices where it was basically just spam the screen with touch and then they'd go attack the monster?
I know, it was just Theater Rhythm.
Was it Theater Rhythm?
Yeah, they released a new Theater Rhythm, and it's actually a really solid game.
Yeah,
the first one was extremely difficult.
It wasn't Theater Rhythm because you had your party was like 9 people.
No, I don't think it was an iOS thing. Yeah, it was an iOS, but it was like
an all for one. I think that was what it was. It was like Final Fantasy. It was just a free for all, and basically it was just click, click, click. It was clickbait the game.
Yeah,
and I mean,
it made money, so that was
Square Enix's mobile market is just they're confused and they're still getting it. But
I'm kind of actually excited for the new Final Fantasy, the road trip. Final Fantasy, the road trip. Let's do it.
That did look good.
I gave up on Final Fantasy. I'm just done with them.
Well,
I think that would actually be the first Final Fantasy I could play because I don't traditionally like turn-based RPGs.
Well,
they haven't been turn-based in a while.
A lot of people bought.
This one was obviously not though.
Was it Type Zero?
Crap.
A lot of people bought Type Zero for the PS4 so they could get the demo for the new Final Fantasy, and everyone who's gotten the demo said it's absolutely amazing.
Reverting back to the thing of like Zone of the Enders kind of style.
I still buy my JRPGs for the story, and they've been so fucking confusing lately that I don't want to buy, the anthology to sit there and read so I know what the hell they're talking about. It just...
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's Square Enix. Do you guys have anything to say about Square Enix?
I believe in you. Please, I don't need more hate.
Well, we'll move on to a couple smaller ones while we got time.
There's an easy one we could take a stab at. I mean, everybody but EA. I mean,
sport titles. Woo.
Bio.
Yeah, EA. Oh no, EA, you're not releasing your games from Nintendo. I'm so sad now. I can't play Madden on the 80th system I own. And
I'm just sad what they've done to BioWare.
Moment of silence for BioWare.
Because I don't think anyone else here has played it yet, but Pillars of Eternity?
No, I haven't played it yet.
Which is Obsidian, who originally was part of Black Isles and BioWare all back in the day with Baldur's Gate 2, just released Pillars Eternity, and it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, okay.
And
Next one, anybody?
I can't really think of any companies that I've been really pissed off at.
I already know what Gary would love to jump on.
What?
Overkill / Starbreeze.
Now here at Overkill, I love you. Know that I truly love you, Overkill. So please knock it off. I have some 400-something hours in Payday 2.
You're 347.
Jesus fuck.
Really?
347.
I thought it was higher than that. Still,
I'm in the 400s.
we have a lot of Payday 2 hours. We play essentially every day. I'm supposed to be working. You don't understand. I get home and I'm like, I have applications to develop, so let's shoot some civilians. I have bought all DLC except for whatever you just released because
The barbecue pack.
yeah, fuck you. I'm not. Yeah,
I was sold on the Keanu Reeves John Wick pack.
Wasn't that a community?
That's a free thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
free.
I thought that's how you said like John. It's like there's John Wick, there's Keanu Reeves, and fucking Payday. Like, yep, I'll buy this right now.
The thing I am upset with you about is that this new DLC you have released for Spring Break weekend is garbage. The missions could have been good, but here's how I feel about them. They're not. And the car heist. Why, in a stealth game, on a stealth mission, would you make every wall out of glass? That triggers alarms. And if that weren't bad enough, I have a minute to drive to the end on Death Wish.
In a game where you've never driven.
I fancy myself quite the good driver. Your controls are terrible. I can clearly see the lack of love. If I remember correctly, the developer said something about how, like, I will never put cars in here, and then, like, we talked you into it or something. And I was like, well, I had to do it for the fans. Next time you do it for the fans, just fucking stop. I mean, your heart was not into it, it's garbage. And, Hawks of Revenge, I don't really care that it was a disappointing reveal. I mean, like, I can see why you picked who you did, and I'm not gonna spoil it. But I hate that mission. If nothing else, because you broke detection. You can't stealth anything anymore.
Gary, we're going into like a whole game review now.
We'll cut it off here.
Yeah.
Why don't we, everybody, anybody have like kudos? I'll start off with Bethesda and Valve. Keep it up.
I still have
Bethesda.
I have a bone to pick with Bethesda.
You know what? Go ahead, Bethesda. We have no more
Fuck it,
time.
whatever, go ahead.
They're good, but I still have a bone.
I got a bone there, or just a bone? Both.
Both. Fallout.
I'm just waiting. That's all I'm
Elder
I'm
Scrolls.
waiting.
Well, you're always waiting, but the same thing with Valve. It takes time to make the greatest games you'll ever play. So
I mean,
They're not.
Half-Life 3 confirmed. You heard it here first.
Shut up now.
No, I agree. It does take time, and I love that when a company will take effort and everything into making their game amazing and phenomenal and everything, that something has amazing replay value, such as like Fallout 3.
Oh, excellent.
I just want to know that it's actually happening. I don't fucking... If they announce it and say, we're working on it, but it's gonna be some time, I don't care. If I know it's coming, I'm fucking set.
You know it's coming. It's so...
Really? But they has Bethesda come out at all
They don't
and said,
have to.
we are working on Fallout 4?
Because when they
doesn't have
do, we
to.
get games like Elder Scrolls
Really?
Online.
Because
And
you know
just-
it's gonna happen.
They don't have to?
I've already played Skyrim, you know?
They don't have to come out and say they're making Fallout 4 when they just came out with instead New Vegas.
New Vegas was
I know it was
Obsidian.
forever ago, but still.
New Vegas was good.
It's still the...
New Vegas was way better than 3.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
But it's, I mean,
no.
with all the bugs, with all the bugs.
It's because it's Obsidian, but it's written better, it has better story, it has
yeah, it does have
multiple
better
endings, it has better characters, it has a better world, it is more in tie to Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 because it's made by the people who made Fallout 1 and Fallout 2,
But 3
not
has
some
the
shitty
best setting.
Skyrim Fallout 3. Like,
3
New
has
Vegas
the best
was
setting in any
10
game.
times better, even with the bugs, that
That's
Fallout
just,
3 ever was.
That's just incorrect.
Games, they have endings.
Yeah, they
I don't-
end eventually.
They have a plot.
They have multiple
3 had-
branches and all the
I
plots.
lost weeks in that.
3 had Liam Neeson. 3 had
Three had one storyline.
Washington D.C. 3 had that what was it, that 50s television show like Memory Lane thing. 3 had
Tranquility Lane.
3 had better perks. 3 had better settings. I mean, the subway system, the grocery store is still my favorite place to go in any game. I started 3 over so many times just so I could go through the fucking grocery store and kill all of the fuckers there.
John, I remember, like, what was that fucking tower
The
again?
selling point was Tenpenny Tower for me. Walking up, and I'm like, Jerry's like, you need to play this game. I'm like, why? And then he presses a button.
Here we go. Reason 3 is the best. 3 Dog.
3 Dog.
Oh, this is 3 Dog.
Well, I'll be in the minority. New Vegas was way better, and it was more too.
No, I actually like it better.
The one point that I will give New
finished it
Vegas
yet, so I
over
gotta go
3 was the anti-material rifle. That is the one point that I will give New Vegas over 3.
That
New
and
Vegas had-
the brothel, the entire brothel,
brothel didn't
chain
exist.
was hilarious.
Well, the also
Fisty.
had 3 to 4 different endings for it. It had 3 branches depending on who you wanted to
That and
ally
killing
with.
Walt Disney was fun.
It had way better characters in it. It was better written. Yes, it had some bugs and problems, which they have fixed since then. But Obsidian...
You didn't play it on PS3, did you?
No, I played it on PC.
Yeah, that's the...
My problem I had is, when I went to 3, I couldn't finish the map. There was so much to that game. In New Vegas, I explored everything. I didn't have a problem. I was like, whatever, I found it all or done.
I explored everything in 3 as well. Because
Oh.
it had
In
the
3's
same layout. Every square had one hidden bunker, one town, and then one other point of interest. And it's the exact same 3 things in each individual.
I don't know. I don't know if I threw so much time into 3 that it sold me so much.
But yeah, New
I feel like
Vegas
we're getting
wasn't
distracted.
Bethesda.
Well-
Bethesda, I know, is making 4. We all know it's because it made shit ton
I
of
just
money.
wanted to.
And just like we know they're making another fucking Elder Scrolls. It's
Anybody
happening.
else have a kudos company they want to talk about while we can end the show because it's going on for over an hour? You guys will never shut up.
Who the fuck was it? Some other really small company that's still out right now that I'm actually happy with.
Snowblind
Company
with
who's
Snowblind?
making Witcher, Red Project, because they also run good old games. They are always good in my book.
Rockstar, because it's going in the right direction finally at last.
Yeah, I'm fine with the Grand Theft Auto being a little more arcade style, but
I like Tripwire, makers of Killing Floor, Red Orchestra, and then soon to be Killing Floor 2, which is finally getting the attention it deserves on consoles.
God bless you, Tripwire.
I fucking love Platinum games so goddamn much. They deliver the unnecessary badassness that I love so much. Like Vanquish is one of my ultimate favorite games. Jetpacks on the fucking
Vanquish,
legs.
the game?
You go. I'm like, I love this so goddamn much. The demo alone sold
I played
me.
that. I remember you actually gave it to me for like I don't remember. My
Yeah, I
birthday
gave it to
or
you. Just fucking
something,
take it. Just fucking take
And
it.
I played it for a solid hour laughing.
It's a fucking good time. Platinum
couldn't
games,
die.
Bayonetta, everything you guys do, man.
LucasArts and Lionhead Studios?
LucasArts back in the day, yes.
No, LucasArts today with the stuff that... Wait, what do you mean?
LucasArts back in the day was like point-and-click adventures, which me and Travis grew up with.
LucasArts is dead, Jerry.
The only
They're
thing
dead.
I'm kind of actually sad with LucasArts dying was the Boba Fett game they were making.
True.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Because they looked badass.
Who's behind Fable now? Because I'm kicking them in the dick. They
After Fable started amazing, then 2 came out and it fell, then 3 came out and it fell.
And then we have
And
the
then
greatest Fable ever, Fable
Next.
Carriage Driver.
Oh my god, the
Fable
Force
Connect,
Simulator. Oh my god,
where
that's
you're
so
not
good.
even in.
And now
you're
the
not
next
even
Fable
line.
game is Fable, you're the bad guy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
One day we'll just have to talk about Peter Molyneux all day.
You have got to say that name right someday. But
Peter
anyway,
Molyneux. But how do you pronounce his last name?
Molyneux.
Molyneux.
That's what I
That's it, Peter Molyneux.
well, whatever. Anybody else have a company?
Bees. What?
No.
Pixel.
It's so good.
They need to finish their damn game.
All right, well, we'll cut it there for tonight. If you like what we're doing here at NullSpace, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter at NullSpace Gaming, and also our blog at nullspacegaming.blogspot.com. Well, that's everybody here from NullSpace. Thanks for listening, and as Jerry always says,
Happy gaming, everybody.